Hi, my name is Ron Pare, and you're watching a video short of a model I built for the Model Railroads and Structures show or for one of my clients. Please enjoy. I had to let the building cure for a couple of days. I want the paint that I put on next to not bleed through red in any way. Now, I took a paint chip to Lowe's and had a custom color made up at the paint booth there, and spent $15 on more than enough paint for me to use in over a year of building model railroads. And believe me, I use concrete paint on pretty much every model or scene. In North Carolina, I used half that quart. But I painted everything, like 18 feet of, it was like 25 feet of railroad I had to paint sidewalks for all the way around the blocks. It's crazy. Lasted forever. So just paint the cinder blocks on the bottom, concrete color of your choice. I use a tan-based gray, and that's what the aged concrete seems to look like. There you could use slate gray. This is going to get weathered down, so your color is going to be manipulated. So what I'm putting on what looks to be a nice white or a nice bright color, it's totally going to be toned down by weathering powders and stuff later on. We've got lintels underneath each window, and we've got to paint them concrete colored too. It's a good rule of thumb to dab off the majority of the paint from a brush. Just put it off to the side on a piece of scrap paper, or I work on a scrap piece of plywood, and get a lot of the paint off, because it won't look so thick if you get it off. And if you need a little bit more, just dab into that excess paint that you just in the pile there. I'm painting the doors a forest green, but also coming back with a lighter green to wear off the paint to simulate peeling paint. Using my trusty crazy glue, we start gluing the lintels into the window portions and getting the best side forward. Just put if you didn't get enough paint on one side, just put that to the back. But also try to notice that there's a little bit of a tab on one side of the lintel, and that should be on the bottom. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to put in a couple of bricked up windows here, just to show how easy it is. So I'm going to glue it from the back, and I'm going to glue it with crazy glue to start with. I'm going to come back later after everything's all sorted and I start bracing it on the back, and I'll glue these windows rock solid and allow them to dry overnight with the bracing that I'll be putting on the inside of the building. But that's not yet. We're going to put these bricked up portions in first. There are two parts to the window frames, and I crazy glue them together by dabbing the glue in opposite corners. 2 corners, not 4. Want to be able to break the part off of the plywood if it glues to it, sometimes does, and then also just tack these parts together, because that's all you need to get them in the building. After the crazy glue has pretty much dried, should be fairly quick, a minute or 2 should suffice, start stuffing it into the windows in the building above the lintels. It's important to have the lintels in first, because it sizes the window up properly in the window opening. Now that the windows are in, just crazy glue them into place. It is important to note that it's not time to put window glazings on yet. Windows glazings are going to go on long after the weathering is done. Done. You heard me right. Right till the very end. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to wait till the end to put in the windows. And it's going to look great. So now, I'm going to glue these pieces together. However, You may think to yourself, what in the heck is this guy doing? Well, what I'm doing is I'm tacking these pieces together. I'm not gluing them together. I'm tacking them together so that they're handleable in a way that I can finish this model off and flip it over and start working on it from the back. But I got to do the front first. I got to finish doing a couple of things. So again, I'm going to use quick dry. I'm just going to run it along my edge here. And I don't care if it squeezes out a little bit on the front, because on the front there's we have a piece of etched wood that's going to cover this area. I don't need to glue both sides because all I want to do is tack this together. I'm going to have my finger on the top and the bottom so that they're level. Just a couple of seconds and the glue will dry. Again, we're not worried about anything, waviness and all that stuff. I'm going to grab a piece of wood out of my stockpile and I'm going to glue it from the back after I got the windows on and stuff. Remember, we glued our window panes in, but because we wanted to let our crazy glue dry completely, we let it sit for a while. We let our crazy glue dry completely because it'll put a white film all over your acetate or whatever it is that they've sent you to put in your windows. So I'm just going to continue on here and get the rest of these pieces together, and then we'll get back to building this.
Thanks for watching today's video short. If you want to watch more model railroading content, check out the rest of my channel. Or watch the Model Railroads and Structures show to see what's going on in the community today.